Well, as you can see, I'm very furious sometimes. And it's because those grounded videos are getting me annoyed at the time, and it didn't go well, unlike some other users out there. And Hanazuki is a cool 2017, yes you need to watch this video to understand what grounded videos are. Any reasons? 1. The troublemaker often does bad things for no legit reason other than for the sake of her/him getting grounded just to learn a lesson, with no build up to the act whatsoever. 2. While the troublemaker gets a chance to listen to her/his parents talking about the situation on what she/he done, her/his parents rather tell her/him that he or she is grounded over and over, usually at least thrice, which quickly gets tiring. 3. Most grounded videos contain the word a lot when the victim tries to confess, and then they tell the truth, which can get annoying. Additionally, if they lie, then the parents will correct them, so why bother asking them if you already know what they did? 4. Most of these videos have preschool show characters as the main grounded victims just because they are for babies, which is a stupid excuse. The most common grounded victims are, as stated above, Caillou, Dora the Explorer, Peppa Pig, Arthur and DW, the Backyardigans, Elm, Johnny Test, and Little Bill, even though I still despise Caillou and Peppa Pig with a burning passion. Since mid-2019, people now think it's a good idea to make Caillou shirt grey, thus making them classic Caillou, because they think Caillou is only bad in the first 2 seasons, and that using the yellow shirt Caillou uses is misleading. This is not the case, as there are a lot of problems with modern Caillou, so it's stupid to make that assumption. Plus, these classic characters are entirely separate characters from their counterparts, making the classic prefix completely nonsensical. Some people even make grounded videos out of non-troublemakers. For example, in Victoria of Chevlonder 2003's series of grounded videos out of Coop from Kid vs. Ked, Coop always gets grounded by Buck Diamond and Mayor Humdinger, neither of whom are any way related to him at all, not to mention that the latter character is from a completely different TV show. In the show, Coop is shown to be a good protagonist and has a father and a sister. This just shows that the people who make grounded videos out of him clearly have not watched the show at all nor done any research on the characters. 5. People also often make grounded videos out of adults such as Bob the Builder, Steve and Joe from Blue's Clues, Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, Barney the Dinosaur, Postman Pat, Pain from Naruto, Kinpig and Corporal Pig from Angry Birds, Boris and Doris, Caillou's parents, Manny Garcia from Handy Manny, Thomas the Tank Engine, sometimes, mostly ungrounded, Tut from Rubber Dubbers, and Elena, Dora's mom, when in real life, adults cannot get grounded and the limited age to get grounded at is 18, making the Adults Get Grounded series dumpster fires and pure trash. In reality, adults would get arrested instead of getting grounded, or they would have been old enough to know much better. 1. Several grounded videos of Joe from Blue's Clues exist. They were primarily made by the colossal D&N Ponies. 2. On top of that, ever since the Boris Gets Grounded series was dying out, due to toxic users known as Boris Funbies, there are now these similar types of grounded videos called Cowbus Gets Grounded or Terrace Gets Grounded, but what they ignore is the fact that Cowbus and Terrace are just lazy regulars at Boris. Terrace wears a red hoodie, black pants, and yellow shoes, and Terrace has a grey hoodie compared to Boris' green hoodie, blue pants, and red shoes. 3. They sometimes even get grounded by their children or people that are in no way related to them. An example of this is in the Bob the Builder Gets Grounded series, where he gets grounded by Farmer Pickles and or his partner Wendy. Even though Farmer Pickles is in no way related to Bob in the actual show, and neither is Wendy. To make matters worse, Bob is shown to have a father and a mother as seen in the actual show. Hell, Bob even has a brother named Tom. This just goes to show that the people who make these grounded videos haven't watched the show before making these videos. 6. Some people make grounded videos out of other users or real-life people, which is considered cyberbullying or harming the person they target. A common example would be Justin Bieber Gets Grounded. 7. Speaking of the names Cowbus and Terrace, those aren't even close to actual names, as they only replaced the B in his name with different letters, which is plain lazy. There are also several other versions of characters who have been lazily named, including 1. The Caillou brothers, for example, Delu, Balu, Palu. 2. Fora, who is the evil variant of Dora. She wears a red t-shirt and blue shorts. Not to mention her title name can also be extremely offensive. And 3. And some other characters as well, including Rosie and Doris. 8. Depending on the type of grounded video, they are extremely repetitive and often reuse the same plot over and over again, just with different characters. Even almost all of the videos have the same backgrounds, most likely because the people who worked on this didn't have the time to make different backgrounds. When photos from real life or other media are used as backgrounds, the way that the characters move around doesn't feel right, as their feet aren't properly planted on the ground. 9. Atrocious writing, as little to no research is done, and most of the videos contain absolutely no common logic whatsoever and aid in stuff that does not make any sense. 1. The troublemakers grounding sentence is absurd, often on teams lasting years, decades, or in some cases, even for eternity, which is just crazy, outright mentally insane, and completely irrational. In real life, you'd be dead long before then. In one circumstance, specifically when Kailu turned a fancy restaurant into Chuck E. Cheese's, he got grounded for over a quintillion years. 2. Sometimes characters get grounded by characters that they have a good relationship with. As mentioned earlier, Bob the Builder is shown to have actual parents and a brother, but for some reason, every grounded video involving him always have Bob being grounded by Farmer Pickles or Wendy, which doesn't make any sense. In the show, Bob is shown to have a good relationship with them, whom again, aren't even related to him. 3. Kailu is seen having a crush on or dating Dora in a lot of videos, which is hemophilia, since he's just 4 years old and Dora is only 7 years old, an age that's way too young for relationships. Rather than having a relationship with each other, couldn't they wait and stay as friends until they're teenagers? Because in real life, the average age to start dating is between 15 to 16 years old. 4. In most videos, characters aged 0 to 3 years are able to speak proper English without any issues whatsoever. In real life, it takes some time to succeed, as most children start forming sentences around the age of 3, but their speech isn't fully developed until they get to be around 5 to 6 years of age. 5. In videos where the troublemaker insults their sibling who had just been born, it's evident that the sibling is able to understand the insult, even though they've been in the world for less than a minute. 10. Often on teams, the grounded victim does something good, yet still gets grounded. 11. In this other series of grounded videos known as Behavior Card Days, the character could also get in trouble just for getting a black/red card, also known as dead meat, which is unfair since a character the user likes gets a better card, mostly leading to them graduating from school or getting an extremely long time off school, while a character the user hates gets a bad one, expelling them from school, usually from every school in the world. These types of videos, like many other ones, are extremely unrealistic, especially since it's against the law to give kids massive amounts of time off school without permission. 12. Some videos can also scare users who come across them, like those including the red alert/double red alert sound effects, Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare sounds, and ear-piercing sounds. They mostly don't even design to add warnings to, though sometimes they do. 13. They use boring and pointless text-to-speech voices, which make them sound monotonous and robotic. I'm going to move on from their crying sounds, because I hate to see all of the users crying and burst into tears just like the others have. 14. They mostly contain the same overused music such as Big Rock, Suspense, Devil's Lair, etc. Most of them don't even have background music, which makes the video boring and monotonous. 15. The animation is also very cheap too. Literally, when the characters move to express pain or discomfort, they are dancing, or when they eat something, they chew and that's it, and most notoriously, when they are shown to be interacting with something, they simply point at it. Even the Looney Tunes shorts outright had so much better animation compared to these lackluster computer-generated atrocities. Many of these videos outright use stock images online for certain characters. 1. For example, in one grounded video titled Classic Kailu Misbehaves at the Kalahari Water Park Resort, the beginning of the video features the characters fully animated in their Comedy World counterparts. However, as the video progresses, the characters immediately turn into stock images, even Classic Kailu, who literally uses a stock image of his Comedy World self from online. 2. Some videos are even aware of their laziness and have a character break the fourth wall to admit their laziness. For example, if one character asks why such thing as floating is of a certain color, or just about anything out of the norm, the other character answers Gonamat/Beyond Logic. 3. A good amount of the Comedy World character designs are lazy, as they look too stock, and they look like they use the same character template. While this isn't the case with all the character designs, it's still a problem nonetheless. Some character designs from some other themes like Business Friendly and Lil Peeps can also look lazy too. 4. Clipping is also very common throughout these videos. For instance, one character may walk behind the props and/or characters in a scene, despite originally being in front of them. 16. A good majority of these videos have characters getting grounded for stupid and nonsensical reasons. 17. The videos listed below are probably the worst kinds of grounded videos. For an example, X destroys the buildings and gets grounded. Group of characters ground the whole world and gets grounded. X misbehaves on the way to Y and gets grounded. X misbehaves at restaurant and gets grounded. X swears in class and gets grounded. X has a nightmare and gets grounded. X misbehaves at resort and gets grounded. And X insults the new baby and gets grounded. Aren't we forgetting something? While it may seem original at first, the plot of most of these types of videos, intentionally or unintentionally, straight up rip off the scene from South Park. Bigger, longer and uncut, where Eric Cartman swears at Kyle in class only for Stan and Kenny to repeat what they were saying, and when Eric insults Mr. Carrison by using obscene language and what Eric said when they got sent to Mr. Mackey's office. 18. Even worse, the troublemaker sometimes gets executed by the law for repeating their bad behavior despite them not even being criminal offenses, though this isn't as common as groundings. 19. Sometimes when a character gets grounded, their parents will call a bunch of random people over to interrogate the grounded character or discuss the punishments they will be getting. This gets annoying and repetitive and only exists as filler to pad out most of the remaining running time. User Nicholas Crockett has done this a lot with his previously mentioned Zombie Jackson Gets Grounded series. 20. Ungrounded videos aren't any better because they have the same plot as grounded videos, except the kid does something good and gets rewarded. Sometimes, the kid does something that deserves punishment, but they get rewarded all because of it. For example, there's a plot-second video where Kailu blows up the Sony Pictures Animation HQ, yet he gets ungrounded. There are even videos where a kid kills someone, and yet they still get ungrounded and rewarded. The worst example of this is a video showing the people getting ungrounded for killing Barney the dinosaur. We're not joking, and that would hurt Diego Fuenzalida Productions 2K3's feelings very badly. The kid getting ungrounded might not even be grounded at the beginning, so what's the point of being ungrounded if you're not even grounded in the first place? 21. In many of these videos, a certain plot plays out where every time a student misbehaves at school, they get held back a grade, or in this case, they are moved back from, say, 12th grade to 11th grade. That's not even the definition of held back. To be held back would mean that one would have to retake the same grade the following year, not get sent back a grade that same year. It's also unrealistic to go back from high school all the way down to preschool, for example. There is also a plot hole. How would the previous teachers know what the troublemaker did in 12th grade? It's as if the 12th grade teacher notified the troublemaker's past teachers and told them to hold the student back if he makes one small mistake, which is also really unfair. 22. Many grounded videos have disturbing and gross content, such as one that has Dora putting rat poison in the school lunch. 23. Punishment Day videos, speaking of which, have punishments that can't even be considered punishments. It's nothing but plain cruelty, torture, and child abuse, which consist of the troublemaker being forced to do things like having their favorite things either burned, broken, sold to a character the user likes, or crushed no matter what price, having everything in their bedroom, including furniture, taken away, making them sleep in a room with absolutely nothing, getting sent to scary Legos. Such Legos include Lashki CSUPO Super Scary Face, Viacom's V of Doom, D's Mask of Guzang, WGBH Boston's Neon Sign, THX's Deed Note, Screen Gen's S from Hell, or the Nickelodeon Pinch Face, none of which are even scary, and other punishments that are extremely brutal. This especially applies to videos involving Warren Cook, also known as Disney 1998, a certain user who was criticized a lot for plugging a bunch of fake VHS openings with clickbait titles like Real Not Fake and having the wrong release years. Speaking of Warren Cook, he is very close-minded and too old to get grounded. Some new videos show him as a good man. 24. While it isn't too common, some people who watch might become uncomfortable due to the inclusion of gross-out humor, shock value, pedophilia, incest, urine, vomit, fecal matter, blood, mutilation, and on rare occasions, female periods, etc. 25. Atrocious and horrific morals. You should ground your kids for very long periods and abuse them. The parents never even get punished for abusing their kids and get off scot-free, making them calmly euthanize. Even if the characters commit bad stuff like skipping school and such, it's still not an excuse for the parents to brutally torture them. 26. Some punishments are pretty offensive, such as Kailu getting sent to India in one video as a punishment, and Dora getting sent to Italy in another. Besides, India and Italy aren't bad countries. 27. Speaking of offensive, some videos can even contain racially insensitive content, one of the most infamous examples being Boris the Teeth Guy, an evil version of Cailu's father who uses profanities and all sorts of racial and homophobic slurs like the F word and the B word. 28. Some of these videos depict a troublemaker celebrating someone's death. For example, in the infamous and pointless video, Dora and Cailu get executed big time. Their parents, Boris, Doris, Elena, and Miguel, and other various people, such as Sonic, celebrate the death of Cailu and Dora just for a very demonic reason. In real life, you would give a tribute and dedication to a person who has passed away, not celebrating their death, which shows how many of these idiots these characters are in these grounded videos. In most videos, the troublemakers are brainless and are complete idiots. For example, when they need to go to toilet, they do it right on the spot, when they could easily go to the bathroom instead. Or, when their parent tells them they're grounded or subjected to a punishment day, rather than trying to escape, do something, or defend themselves instead of just yelling and crying. 30. Some people that make these videos are not only SJWs and obsessive anti-SJWs, but also neo-Nazis as well. 31. While the lip-syncing is okay for most of the themes, some of them have bad lip-syncing as they either don't fit up with the voices, cartoon classics and stick figure, or they don't fit up with the emotion, lil peeps and business-friendly. 32. Often teams, due to many of the videos being made with weak hardware and then screen recorded with Bandicam or similar software, there tends to be a lot of lag in these videos, especially when there are a lot of characters on screen. 33. Some of the punishments involve sending the victim to a foreign country, usually European and or Asian. They are sent there without food, money, or family. And when the set victim attempts to escape the country, the victim will get grounded by a bunch of other people even though they have nothing to do with the video, which is downright stupid. 34. Some of these videos can break YouTube's guidelines, as with one video about Dora committing a mass school shooting and killing dozens of innocent children and teachers. Yes, these videos exist. And lastly, 35, possible victim blaming in some videos, especially in one titled as Justin Bieber gets beat up / grounded, where an injury named Brown beats up Justin Bieber. When Justin told the teacher, she instead victim blames him and tells him to see the principal. When Justin told the principal what happened, he victim blames him as well, along with the parents. Luckily, there are some good qualities. Here's for the example. 1. Some grounded videos are okay because the parents don't repeat the word grounded, and sometimes even give realistic grounding sentences, such as Divri Lopez's mean big sister curses at the baby. Others, like Ivan the Brainy KO and Jacob the Little Witch Academia Bro, never use the word grounded and instead has the guardians sent the troublemaker to their room. 2. Although most of the comedy world, and some character designs from other themes, character designs look lazy, some of the creators at least tried their best to make the characters accurate. On top of that, some designs can look accurate, but they only come from users who actually care about quality. 3. There are several satirical videos, parodies, and laziness videos, all of which are hilarious, and are supposed to be funny. As mentioned earlier, laziness versions of commonly used characters are used in laziness videos, and are extremely funny, despite the controversy. Although a few of these videos may contain a little bit of swearing and inappropriate content, this is never taken too far, and can also make the video a little bit funnier. 4. The very first grounded video made by Adam Kleinschmidt 2003 wasn't too bad, as it was much more realistic than grounded videos nowadays, and the troublemaker gets grounded for being rude to a teacher, which is completely understandable for the parents to ground him for that. Besides, it wasn't an exaggeratedly infinite sentence. On top of that, the troublemaker even redeems himself by apologizing to his teacher at the end and gets ungrounded, which is nice. 5. Though it doesn't usually happen, there are a good number of videos where the troublemaker tries their best to escape any harm. 6. Some troublemakers do deserve to get grounded for their misfortunes, whether it would be either karmic or satisfying, such as being unlikable, mean, annoying, selfish, immature, etc. 7. Despite some videos having very offensive swear words, some other videos contain censorship. What's even better is that videos with porn in them are quite rare. 8. Despite the troublemaker getting grounded for an unrealistically long time and receiving unfair punishments, several videos have characters getting grounded for fair and realistic reasons. 9. Some people, such as Samster5677 and Kenny Animate, for example, put more effort into making their grounded videos by making them more realistic and funny than most grounded videos you can find on YouTube, not to mention that some of them make grounded videos for fun more than just expressing hatred towards a character. 10. Not all grounded videos use characters from other intellectual properties. Several grounded videos are made with original characters, for example, Veely, Kenwood, Raven, Rebecca, Christo, Lamar, Tristan, Eagle, Nailage. 11. The text-to-speech voices can sound funny sometimes. 12. They could be considered so bad, it's good, so that makes them usually funny to watch, even if the creators never intended on it. 13. In some cases, the parents can also get grounded, like Boris in most cases where he can be portrayed as a troublemaker, for grounding their kids for no reason. Karma. 14. Sometimes, grounded videos do show us the consequences of causing trouble and bad behavior, even if not well executed. 15. There are two other themes. The Lil Peeps theme, very seldom used, and the business-friendly theme, sometimes used, which are much better themes to use instead of Comedy World, as they have a lot more character movements and reactions to choose from. And lastly we are going to 16. In some grounded videos, they use more varied music. Before 2016, these videos were met with praise from, mostly, Vyonders. However, as years came by, they mostly received mixed to negative reception from a majority of YouTubers, Vyonders, and professional animators. They have been criticized for being formulaic, repetitive, predictable, unoriginal, lazy, mean-spirited, etc. However, they do have a cult following, with some considering them to be so bad, they're good. Hanazuki is a cool 2017, I'm sorry to say this, but this is for Vyonders' job to make grounded video more effort.